So which barber should TPOB do a clipper collab with? Vic Blends? Stay Gold? Rob the Original? Let me know who he should let create a clipper and have their name all over it and get a percentage of the sales. Join me now as we discuss this. Plus more, only on Barber News.
Oh, crying. I'm really just a dickhead, I'm really just a dickhead. Don't act like you don't know me. This scam deserve a trophy. Baby, they know me straight. Do the most crying in history. Power potting, go show up. The scammer clippers blow up. It's bossy or crying. 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 Bossy or crying.
Alright, so let's talk about something super interesting. Barber brands collaborating with barbers. This has been a thing for years, and some of these collaborations have been straight fire, while others, well, let's just say they didn't age too well. Now, one of the ones I remember is Rob the Original teaming up with Barber. He didn't just get a collab. He was gifted the opportunity back in a time when there wasn't much competition in the market. And let's be real, that timing was everything. The man probably did really well from that deal, and honestly, I respect him for making it happen. You've got to give credit where it's due, right? But let's talk about the big one, the Andes x Supreme collab. Oh man, this was iconic. Back when Supreme was the brand to flex and Andes was still at the top of their game, somehow they joined forces and dropped what was arguably the coolest barber collab ever. Again, this happened when the competition was basically non-existent. The timing couldn't have been better. These moves weren't just about the product. They were about being at the right place at the right time. Now here's the thing. I don't think Wall has ever done a collaboration with anyone. If they have, you've got to let me know in the comments because I can't think of one. And honestly, that kind of blows my mind considering they're one of the biggest names in the game. So, here's what I want to know. Do you think these barbers deserve the collab deals they got? Were they purely lucky, or was it a mix of skill and hustle? And how much do you think they actually made from these partnerships? Let's talk about it in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Now this is the difference. Let's break it down. Being an ambassador for a brand and having your name on a clipper are two completely different levels in the game. And trust me, they're not even in the same league. If you're someone who can create fire content, engage with a decent audience, and actually bring value to a brand, then an ambassador role might be your lane. That's where you promote the products, get perks, and maybe a little paycheck on the side. If you think you're that person, drop a comment below and hit me up with your Instagram. I'll check out your work, and who knows, maybe I can pull some strings and help you land a spot with the TPOB. But here's the thing, having your name on a clipper? That's on another level entirely. That's a big deal, and it's not something brands just hand out. It costs a lot of money for a company to pull that off. So if a barber's name is slapped on a clipper, that barber better be loyal to the brand, especially if it's an ongoing collaboration. It's a long-term investment, and brands aren't going to make that call unless they see real value. Now here's where Barber dropped the ball. They started doing collaborations with a ton of nobodies. I was honestly surprised. All they really did was put a barber's name on the box, the clipper itself, no upgrades, no unique design, just the same tool you'd get off the shelf. That's where they missed the mark. It felt rushed, and honestly, it watered down the whole idea of a collab. So here's what I want from you. Drop me a serious name. Which barber or even celebrity do you think could kill it with their own clipper line? Someone who would actually bring hype and quality to the game. Let's talk about it in the comments. I'm curious to see who you think deserves that level of respect. Babyliss didn't go all in on collaborations with other barbers at first. They were worried about sales. Plain and simple. They wanted to push units, not just create hype. And you know what? It worked. Their approach of sticking to safe bets brought them consistent numbers and kept them relevant. But now we've got a brand like Scamma reaching out to big names and begging for collaborations. This isn't about strategy. It's about survival. Let's call it what it is. A scream for help. It's like when your ship is sinking, and you're frantically calling the Coast Guard, praying for a helicopter to swoop in and save you. That's exactly what this feels like. Now, let's talk about Jeezy getting his own clipper from Scamma. Is this move going to save the brand? Honestly, I don't think so. Don't get me wrong, Jeezy's name holds weight, and he's got the following to make moves. But here's the thing. If the brand itself is already on shaky ground, slapping a big name on a product isn't guaranteed to fix that. Maybe it'll work. Maybe Jeezy can give them the momentum they need, or maybe it's just a band-aid on a sinking ship. What do you think about it? Be honest. Is this move a lifeline for Scamma, or is it too little, too late? I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts. I don't think Jeezy cares too much about it. While he was promoting the new clipper, he was seen using a Babyliss trimmer. I mean, how ignorant can you get? A brand tries to make you a clipper, you take it and use other brands. That's like Nike sponsoring Ronaldo and he turns up to a Nike event wearing Adidas. I bet he done it on purpose. While I have all your attention now, please check out this video by Dr. Barber using the greatest clipper on the market. Have you bought one yet? I know a lot of what's going on in the barbering world. I hear everything. Let's talk about TPOB. This brand has had a ton of big names slide into their DMs trying to work with them. But here's the thing. They've refused a lot of these offers. Why? Because those people didn't align with the brand. And honestly, that's fair. You've got to protect your vision and only work with those who truly represent what you're about. But here's the messy part. Some of these people didn't take rejection well. Instead of moving on, they turned sour and started hate campaigns against TPOB. That's the reality of this industry. Ego can get in the way. And this is where trust becomes everything. If you want to represent a brand, being loyal and trustworthy is non-negotiable. If you think you're that barber, the one who has what it takes to represent a brand with integrity, drop your Instagram below. I'll check it out. And who knows? Maybe there's an opportunity waiting for you. Now, let's talk about 2025 because this year is shaping up to be the biggest year for clippers and barbering. It's going to be a year where the industry separates the men from the boys. The real brands, the ones with a vision, are going to grow, while the greedy ones, the ones just chasing a quick profit, are going to fade out. That era is over. If a brand doesn't have a plan to innovate and bring real value, they're not going to survive. But here's a question for you. Are you loyal to one brand? Or do you keep an open mind and try everything at least once? I know a lot of barbers who swear by one brand and won't touch anything else. But then there are others who experiment with different tools and give honest feedback. I'm curious, where do you stand? Does loyalty matter more, or is it all about finding the best tools for the job? Let me know, because at the end of the day, your input matters in shaping this industry. And with that, we have come to an end. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you know when I'm in action. That's it from me, Barbers. I'm out. Peace.